Welcome everyone. In this session, we are going to introduce the different types of server installations available when deploying a network operating system. We will cover what a network operating system actually is, the two main installation choices you will face, and most importantly, why your choice really matters in terms of performance, security, and ongoing maintenance. So let us begin by defining what a network operating system is. A network operating system, often abbreviated as NOS, is specialized software that runs on a server. Its primary job is to provide essential network services. These include file and print sharing so that users can store and access files centrally and use networked printers. It also handles user and resource management, which means it controls who can access what on the network. Security and authentication are another key function, for example through Active Directory, which manages user logins and permissions. Additionally, it runs critical network services like DNS, which resolves domain names to IP addresses, and DHCP, which automatically assigns IP addresses to devices. Some common examples of network operating systems you might encounter are Microsoft Windows Server, various Linux distributions like Ubuntu Server or Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and older legacy systems like Novell NetWare. Now, when you go to install a server operating system, you typically face one big decision: which installation type should you choose? There are two main paths available. The first is the full installation, which includes a complete graphical user interface. The second is Server Core, which provides only a command line interface. This choice is not trivial because it will affect several critical areas, including the server's performance, its security posture, how much maintenance it will require, and the complexity of managing it day to day. Let us look first at the full installation, which is also sometimes called the desktop experience. This option includes the complete Windows desktop environment. You get the Start menu, the taskbar, File Explorer, and all the familiar graphical elements. It also comes with graphical management tools such as Server Manager and Microsoft Management Console snap-ins. Essentially, it includes every system service and component that the operating system has to offer. So when is this the right choice? It is best suited for general-purpose servers that need to run multiple roles. It is also ideal if you have third-party applications that absolutely require a graphical interface to install or operate. Finally, it is a good fit for administrators who are more comfortable with visual tools rather than writing scripts or using the command line. However, the full installation comes with both advantages and disadvantages. On the plus side, it is much easier for beginners to learn and manage because the interface is familiar to anyone who has used a Windows desktop. All the administrative tools are available graphically, which speeds up routine tasks, and troubleshooting is generally easier because you can visually inspect settings and logs. On the downside, it consumes a lot of disk space, often upwards of 10 GB or more. It also uses significantly more RAM and CPU resources because the graphical shell and all its associated services are running constantly. Having more services running also means there is a larger attack surface, meaning more potential entry points for malware or hackers. And because there are more components installed, you have to apply more patches and updates, which translates to higher maintenance overhead over time. Now let us shift to the other option, Server Core. This is a minimal installation that has absolutely no graphical interface. You get only a command prompt and PowerShell. It includes only the essential system files needed to run the operating system and any specific server roles you assign. All management is done remotely using tools like Remote Server Administration Tools, or RSAT, from another computer. So when should you choose Server Core? It is best for servers that will run specific, dedicated roles such as DNS, DHCP, a domain controller, or a web server. It is also excellent for virtualized environments where you want to conserve resources and maximize the number of virtual machines per host. And it is the go-to choice for security-focused deployments where you want to minimize the attack surface. Server Core also has its own set of pros and cons. The advantages are compelling, It has a very small disk footprint, often saving several gigabytes compared to the full installation. It uses less RAM and CPU because there is no graphical shell to maintain. Because there are fewer services running by default, the attack surface is significantly smaller, which makes it more secure out of the box. And with fewer components installed, there are fewer patches to apply, resulting in reduced maintenance and management effort. However, there are some disadvantages to be aware of. There is a steeper learning curve because you must be comfortable with the command line and PowerShell scripting. Troubleshooting can be harder without a GUI to quickly browse logs or check settings visually. Not all third-party applications will support a server core environment, so you need to verify compatibility first. And you absolutely must have remote management tools set up because you cannot manage the server directly from its own console in a graphical way. To help you see the differences clearly, let us compare them side by side. When it comes to the graphical desktop, the full installation has it and server core does not. Disk space used is high for full installation, around 10 GB or more, whereas server core is low, typically 4 to 6 GB. RAM usage is high for full installation and low for server core. The attack surface is large for full installation because many services are enabled, while server core has a small attack surface. Maintenance effort is high for full installation because of frequent patches, whereas server core has low maintenance. Management skill requirements are different too. Full installation can be managed with both GUI and CLI tools, while server core requires CLI or PowerShell expertise only. And finally, full installation is best for general-purpose servers, while server core is designed for specific, dedicated roles. Now, given these differences, how do you decide which one to choose for a particular scenario? Here are some practical guidelines. If you need to run a legacy application that has graphical dependencies, you should choose full installation. If you are deploying a dedicated DNS or DHCP server, server core is the better choice because it is lightweight and secure. If your IT team is new and needs visual tools to learn and manage the server, go with full installation. If your primary goal is maximum security and you want to minimize patching overhead, server core is the way to go. If the server will run multiple different roles simultaneously, full installation gives you the flexibility to manage all of them graphically. And if you are running in a virtualized environment with limited resources, server core will allow you to maximize your hardware utilization. So to wrap it all up, the core concept here is that the choice between full installation and server core is essentially a trade-off between ease of management on one hand and efficiency and security on the other. There is no universally correct answer, it depends entirely on your specific requirements, your team's skill set, and the role the server will play. To summarize each option in one sentence, full installation means everything is included, it is easy to use, but it is heavy and requires high maintenance. Server core means it is minimal and lean, it is command line only, but it is secure and low maintenance. And the final exam-ready definition to remember is that server core is a minimal installation option for a network operating system that provides only essential files for running specific server roles, with no graphical user interface, resulting in reduced maintenance and management requirements. That concludes our lesson on server installation types. Thank you for your attention.